guys, the other day I wrote an article about the 13 crowdfunding mistakes people make during the pre-launch period, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about the 4 key ones that I always see. And I think it's it's 4 of the most important things that people kind of mess up on when they're looking to launch on a crowdfunding campaign, and they're like preparing everything, getting stuff ready during their pre-launch for their big bang launch, right? There's 4 things that I've seen that kind of really make or break your project. So, let's just get right to it. The first thing I really see that kind of wreak havoc on different crowdfunding campaigns, especially during the pre-launch, is that the founder, the entrepreneur, just doesn't talk to potential customers, right? Like, I can't emphasize this enough, but it's so bad to build your product in a vacuum, right? You might think you have the most incredible product idea in the world, and you might ask a few friends and family members, and they might think that it's the best idea in the world, the coolest idea in the world. But if you don't go beyond yourself, you don't go beyond friends and family, then you might honestly fall flat because no one else in the real world actually want it, right? You have to put yourself out there to dig deeper. A lot of entrepreneurs I talk to are just scared. They're scared that people are going to say no to them. They're scared that people are going to criticize their idea. They're scared that people are going to tell them to tweak things. They're scared of so many things just by presenting an idea. And I understand, right? I'm scared of coming here, talking to you guys, being on YouTube, risking myself to, get online hate, right? But think of your why. Think of why you want to launch. Think of why you want to do what you want to do. Think of why you want to have this idea be out in the world. And once you know your why, you can really get over that discomfort, that fear, that worry that someone is going to judge you, right? Get out of your comfort zone and dare to be vulnerable, right? Quiz total strangers about your idea, right? Go and find where people who might want your product hang out and just ask them, right? Ask them, hey, can you tell me what you think about this product? Do you think you'll like it? What do you think? Can you explain exactly why they would want this and how this thing works, right? Does it solve their real pain point in their daily lives, right? Who are these people? You have to be able to go out and talk to potential customers so that you can get the feedback you need to make the product people actually want. Again, that's really one of the main mistakes people make, is that they just create their product in a vacuum. They don't ask potential customers. And really, guys, crowdfunding is about the crowd, right? It's not about the funding, it's about the crowd. If you have the crowd, the funding will come after. And to get the crowd is really to just go out there and talk to people. This actually kind of leads to the second biggest mistake that I see for crowdfunding campaigns, is that people don't build a community. Some people just refuse to build a community, or they don't think they need a community, right? People think that, hey, if I put my project on the crowdfunding page on Kickstarter or Indiegogo and I'll launch, and boom, thousands of people will rush to my page, hundreds of millions of dollars will immediately just come to my crowdfunding project. But it's not like that, right? Successful products don't launch in a vacuum. They don't launch to no one. In order to create a hit, you need to really kind of engineer every part of your campaign to support a community of fans. What does that mean, right? It means that you have to find other people who are as passionate and as vocal about your project as you are, pretty much. So, for example, if you're creating a project that is for people who own dogs, right? There's a community online for sure, even in real life, online or real life, right? Of people who are obsessed with their dogs and will get whatever new cool thing. Like this thing Furbo launch, it's like an automatic treat dispenser, and there's a video and you can talk to your dog. That kind of blew up for crowdfunding in a good way, because they found a passionate group of dog lovers and dog fans who know that they miss their dogs when they're at work during the day, and they know they want to interact with their dogs, and this was the solution for them, right? I myself have a dog, and I'm like, wow, I never even thought something like this could exist. When you're building a community, you have to convince them why your product is worth vouching for, right? Sell them on your vision and enlist them into your community, because these are the people who will be passionately following your journey and really just passionately telling everyone and anyone they see about your project so that you will have more people backing your campaign and you'll have more people in your community, right? So those are the first two things. One was really just people who are just afraid to talk to potential customers. That's a big no-no. The second one is just not building a community, because those two things are, again, crowdfunding, right? Third thing that I want to talk about today of the main kind of mistakes during the pre-launch campaign, the pre-launch phase that people make, is not having a well-designed landing page. Let's think about it this way. Back then, people had, storefronts, right? You would, walk up to the main center of town, and then the cobbler would have like a shoe or something on the storefront, right? So okay, they're a cobbler. This is what they do. And then if you need your shoe fixed, you would go in. But online, your storefront is your landing page, right? How else can anyone know what you do if you don't have a storefront? So the landing page, again, is literally like the digital storefront of your brand, your company, and your product as you really work to launch a crowdfunding project. You're completely new to the market at this point, right? There's no business name, no one knows your brand, no one knows your product right now. So where else will people find information? That's why a landing page that's like beautifully designed and functional, loads quickly, mobile optimized is so important. And a lot of people, go into their crowdfunding journey and say, I'll do it later. I'll just, start talking to people and I'll just have a landing page later. But no, guys, get your landing page up now, because what that means is you'll have a place where you can direct literally everyone you're talking to from everywhere, and they'll see the same information, right? If you're talking to someone at the grocery store checkout line, if you're talking to someone at the local WeWork, if you're talking to someone at your gym, if you're talking to, a friend of a friend of a friend over coffee, right? You can direct everyone to the same place and they'll see the exact same information, right? So you'll know what works and what doesn't work. Not only that, but that's the one place you can actually use to get all this traffic to collect people's emails. Because as we know, emails are the key to crowdfunding success. Getting emails, getting that crowd, getting that audience is the key to crowdfunding success. And one of the only places you can do that, one of the only ways you can collect emails, other than just like manually getting people's emails when you talk to them, is that landing page, right? With that in mind, there's really just no way a store can convince people to buy without a storefront. And there's no way anyone will buy if your design is like from the 1990s, right? Okay, like no hate to the 90s because I'm a 90s kid, but basically you need to have a well-designed landing page. Some people just kind of say, I'll do whatever, just kind of like throw things together, but no, make it pretty, make it visually appealing, because people are naturally kind of drawn to things that are pretty and beautiful and relatable. If you just slap something on and have like Comic Sans that's like teal, like bright lime green or something, like no one's gonna really want to stay on your page and read more about your project, right? Have a well-designed landing page. That's really the third mistake people make during the pre-launch phase of their campaign. And the number 4 mistake that people make during their pre-launch campaign is they focus too much on the features of their product, of their idea, rather than the benefits of it. Let's think about it this way. There's a clear difference between features and benefits, right? The features of a product is pretty much its physical characteristics, right? Like the size, the color, the weight, the durability, right? But benefits, on the other hand, are just really how people feel, right? As a result of using the products, right? Do they feel safe? Do they feel ecstatic? Do they feel humored, right? Too many people talk about like the features of what they're making, but don't connect it to the value or the solution that their audience really needs, right? So be sure you know how to distinguish between the two for your product, and that it's clearly articulated in your pre-launch phase, in any of the lead generation things you do, in your social media channels, in your advertising, in your pitches to PRs, to influencers or something. But features are cool, right? Like, oh, I have this shirt that's orange. Like, sure, that's cool. But what people buy is the benefits, is how they feel when they get the product, right? Like, sure, this mug is, okay, it says I prefer dogs over people. That's cute. So the feature is that this mug is like pretty big, right? It's probably bigger than most mugs out there. But the benefit is that it holds more coffee. So if it holds more coffee, I can have my 3 cups of coffee in 1 cup, right? So something like that. It's people don't buy features. People don't buy the fact that the cup is huge. People buy the fact that they can hold 3 cups of coffee in that 1 mug, right? See the difference, the feature versus the benefit? So really just focus on distinguishing between what the features and the benefits are for your particular idea and your particular project, and start talking about the benefits, because that's what people relate to every time they buy a product, right? So like with pop sockets, right? People don't buy pop sockets because it like attaches to your phone and it springs out. That's like a feature of it, right? And the colors and stuff like that. Like, people don't buy it because of that. People buy it because the benefit of being able to hold their phone, being able to hold their phone without dropping it while they're like reading in bed, or being able to hold their phone and record a video without having to like do like a weird claw thing with their hand, right? So like, people buy products because of the benefits and not the features. And people, like entrepreneurs, love focusing on features, right? They're like, oh, there's the zipper, and the zipper is like waterproof, and there's this material, and the material, if you like put a flamethrower to it, it still, stays exactly the same. Like, those are features, right? What is the benefit? The benefit is that the zipper is waterproof, so when it rains, all your stuff stays dry, right? So that's a benefit. The material is super tough, so that if you're, traveling somewhere, you have to check your bag, the bag doesn't get ripped in the conveyor belts of airports, right? Or it doesn't get ripped when people at the airports kind of like throw your bags in planes or off the plane, right? So those are the benefits. So think more about benefits rather than features, okay? So today we talked about 4 different things, right? 4 of the key mistakes people make during the crowdfunding pre-launch phase that just doesn't set people up for success, right? So the 4 things we talked about are people who refuse to talk to potential customers. Again, it's so key to talk to potential customers because you just learn so much, and you're just going to be able to make a product people actually want, right? The second thing is not building a community. The crowd part in crowdfunding is so important in bringing the funding to your project, right? The third thing is not having a well-designed landing page. You firstly need a landing page, and secondly, you need it to be beautiful, attractive, brings people in, right? And the 4th thing is that people talk about features rather than benefits. Features don't get people to buy. Benefits offer the value and the solution to problems that get people to like be attached to your project, be attached to you, be attached to your idea. So focus on the benefit rather than the features. Okay, guys, so this is just the 4 key mistakes during the pre-launch phase that people can make. I actually wrote an article about 13 different mistakes in different realms, pretty much, that people usually make during the pre-launch phase that kind of doesn't set them up for success. So go check out the article and see for yourself, like, are you making any of the mistakes? Look at yourself, look at your project, look at how you're doing the pre-launch marketing and see, okay, am I making any mistakes? And fix them, right? Because that's really how you get to a successful pre-launch phase. If you know what your mistakes are, you're brave enough to pretty much admit it, and again, vulnerable and brave enough to fix it so that you're able to set yourself up for success for your crowdfunding campaign. And that is it for this week. Thank you so much for listening today. Tune in next week, same time, for more videos on crowdfunding knowledge to help you crush your Kickstarter and Indiegogo campaign. I'll see you next week, guys.